this game that Arsenal played against Bournemouth at the Emirates is something to talk about. The inconsistency with the refereeing and VAR has been something of a sore on every Arsenal player and the entire fan base. How some decisions go against Arsenal is still, a mystery to a lot of Arsenal supporters. But before we even talk about how this Evan Nilsson's goal was given and not ruled out, let's even talk about the attitude, character, and resilience of these Arsenal players. I'm not one that likes to come and criticize players, whether they play for my team or not, unless it's absolutely necessary. But I think today, a lot of Arsenal players were playing below par. The first person I'd like to talk about is Martin Odegaard. I didn't see him act like a captain. He was not even playing as expected. I know he's had injury issues this season and he's not been himself ever since that injury, but I think Odegaard should be doing more for this team on the ball, right? Because the creativity on this team lies on the shoulder of Odegaard, so we expect more from him. And I think Saliba has been awful in the past few weeks, and he still looks jittery, and I don't know the reason why. Ever since he's been linked to Real Madrid, a lot has been happening with this Saliba guy. But like I said, I don't want to criticize anybody. But the person I was most pissed about, and I've been pissed about like for a very long time this season, is Gabriel Martinelli. So this team is so dynamic when it comes to our defense and our midfield, but our attack is so predictable, especially since Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz got injured. These opponents that play against Arsenal know that the Arsenal team are going to feed the ball in the final third to Bukayo Saka to make something happen. So it makes our attack very predictable and it makes it very easy for them to stop, every attacking threat that comes from this Arsenal team. Martinelli has been playing so bad for almost 2 seasons now. And I've been expecting him to bounce back, but it feels like this guy doesn't just have anything to offer this Arsenal team. Like, I don't think he has anything to offer this Arsenal team at this point. And I think if Gabriel Martinelli is sold or even dropped to the bench, I would not really complain because if we need to stay consistently and play at higher levels where Arsenal are going to win major titles, then we need players that are going to deliver week in, week out throughout the entire season. And lastly, I saw Arteta applauding Martinelli for an Arsenal attack where he was supposed to take a shot and he brought it to his left foot and he had Declan Rice in the opposition, 6 yard box where he would have just laid a pass just like Odegaard gave him that pass for Rice to finish. And he played it with his weaker foot that he was not even very sure of. Right, he was not sure of his left foot, but yet he just hit the ball like that. I've seen so many times Martinelli is going to run to the byline, and he gets so confused about what he's going to do with the ball, either to cut in or to pass back. This guy cannot beat an opposing defender 1v1, a trait that he's been known for, when he signed for this Arsenal team. Overall, I think this Arsenal team should be doing better regardless of the VAR and the bad officiating that's been going against us, for a very long period of time now. But when it comes to us winning games and selling games, to see these games over the line, either to play a draw or to win a match, when it means that we need to perform beyond expectations. It's just so easy when some other fan base banter us and say when it's remaining some few matches to the end of the season, Arsenal are going to bottle some matches, and we keep doing it consistently, always making them feel they are right when we do it. So who are we to argue that this team has gotten to a level where we're going to win major competitions if we don't actually win this, titles? I know we have PSG in sight, and the PSG team played as well, and they rested a lot of their first team players because they've won the league on, and we're not on the same level because we still have to fight for a second place finish, which I very much understand. But the only thing that can convince me that that was what happened, that was the mentality that this Arsenal players went with, to play safe and try as much as possible to maximize points. And where they could not, they should just try and avoid injury. Then going to the PSG game, they have to deliver. They have to find a way to move past PSG and move to the final. That is the only time I'm going to be convinced that this Arsenal team tried to play safe. But if they're not able to do that, I'm sorry. I don't think we are at that level where we're going to win major titles yet. It's just going to always be the case of almost. And you know what happens when people talk about almost? It really does not count. We always have to try and see these titles, this competition over the line, try to win these major competitions. That's only when we're going to be regarded as one of those teams, that top teams that are up there. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, stay blessed.